Minecraft is known for having a seemingly infinite world. So what would happen if instead of having 30 million blocks to the world border, you had a world border based on your YouTube sub count that grows as the series goes on? Let's find out today, starting today's episode with our main goal being getting food. Food is one of 3 challenges we have to face and solve today. But water is something I could very easily not get in this video if I don't find any pools of water underground. So in order to start growing food, I broke all the grass I had for wheat seeds because wheat is one of the only crops I know of that can grow without water. But before planting my wheat seeds, I wanted to focus on a different challenge we have to face in this series, and that's mob spawns, because mobs are an issue to deal with in any hardcore world, but especially in a small world like this one because of the limited places mobs can spawn. You see, hostile mobs have a guaranteed spawn chance every 0.05 seconds and spawn anywhere dark enough within 24 to 128 blocks from a player, which means when you're in a small world like this one, there is nowhere, and I mean nowhere, for mobs to spawn. So they all spawn in the only places available. So I started mining down to y=55 to get coal for torches. On the way, getting enough coal to make a stack of torches and fully light up the surface, so that isn't one of the places mobs can spawn. Very quickly into mining at y=55 though, I got something far more valuable than any amount of coal to me. Oh my dear God. Oh my dear God. We just started the video. Oh my dear God, this is massive. Water? Since I was extremely lucky with water, I got buckets and made an infinite water source in the middle of a wheat farm to both solve our water and temporary food problems. Then I diverted my attention to cutting down trees in order to get wood and some apples to eat because my stomach was growling. However, I soon found out I wasn't the only thing looking for food. I got so scared by you. Why do you make such an ear-screeching, scary sound? Well, hello, little fox guy. I just want to say hi. Why are you so scared of me? You're the one making scary sounds. My apple! No! No, little, no, dude! I don't care. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't look if you don't want to see this, but I need the apple. I'm sorry, little guy, but I need the food. I'm sorry, but I need the food. It's me or you. After making the hard decision of killing the fox for food, I cut down the last tree I had in my world and started worrying about mobs that would cause me more issues than just food. With the surface completely clear and safe, I wanted to make sure the layer just underneath the surface was also safe. Now let me explain what I mean by that. On a few occasions now, I've heard mobs inside of my hill just below the surface. So with me now having some food to reach and health, it's finally time for me to put on my big boy pants and clear it out. Oh, and even more water. Well, the water's cool. This is cool. And rare-ish. Theirs aren't where the most mobs are. Oh. Oh God. Oh. I just angered the Enderman and I don't know where he is. Dude. Why is this so big? Oh, there's a drown? There's 2 drowns in here? Oh my dangers, dude. Dude! There's everything in here trying to kill me. I have 2 food sources and 4 hearts, dude. How? How am I running the gauntlet right now, dude? Oh. There's a way down. There's a little water funnel. Are you kidding me? With the mobs cleared out, I left the hellhole and used the bones from it to grow my wheat and make some bread. With the bread and farm expanded slightly, I got back to mining towards bedrock when yet again, something unexpected happened. What? There's more than that? Dude, what? Really? Dude! This is an old Minecraft. Why are they so high up? There's some outside the border. This is an 8 vein. If you can't tell, I'm very happy that I found 8 diamonds because I want to go into the nether sometime in this video, which means I need a diamond pickaxe. Well, I mean, technically I don't need a diamond pickaxe, just the other way is way scarier than I would like it to be. Now, whether going into the nether is a good idea or not is a completely different question entirely. But one thing that I'm for sure not questioning is my need for a mob spawner now that I have a water supply in order to get carrots and other rare resources, but mainly carrots. And so I began collecting stone for making the spawner from the iron mining level, getting some nice bonus iron in the process. Once I had enough stone, I built the shell of the spawner and placed the water. Then, using some of the skills I learned from my time making the skyblock video, I put trapdoors just above the water spouts so if spiders spawn, they can't climb out of the water and fall down. In theory, at least. And I also put trapdoors onto the mob spawn spots in a certain pattern, shrinking the spawn area for mobs to smaller than any spider is capable of spawning. With the spawner built, I spent the next day grinding up the new spawner for a while in hopes of getting my first carrot. After a night of AFKing to no success, I continued killing mobs in the morning, getting a potato, which is pretty good. Not what I was needing, a carrot, there we go. And a pair of pants, cool, a pair of boots. The reason I wanted a carrot was to in the future make golden carrots and completely solve my food issues. As widely known, golden carrots are a very good food source because they provide 14.4 points of saturation, which means you get hungry far less often. But golden carrots is something I'm far from achieving anytime soon. So I decided to make sure I have carrots for golden carrots later on. I planted the carrots I'd gotten in my wheat farm and used the bones I'd gotten from the spawner to grow as many carrots as I could. Then it was time to get started on my main focus of today's video. As mentioned before, today's video is about getting a steady supply of food, that way one of the 3 struggles of a small world is no longer an issue. In order to do that, I need to start making a carrot farm. So to planting I went, opting for fairly normal 9x9 crop plots, and a layout of 8 per layer in a ring with the middle being the spawner, eventually wrapping the entire farm around the spawner. This layout would provide me with 640 farmland per layer, which based on the average amount of carrots gotten per harvest being 3.7 per crop, this should give me roughly 2,368 carrots per harvest per layer, or 27 stacks of carrots after replanting. Yeah, okay, nerd. Anyways, I needed building resources for the floors and the walls of the farm. So I started farming trees for oak wood and charcoal and started farming cobblestone and nights for stone brick while working on other stuff for the farm. The other main thing for the farm was flattening all of the area needed for the farm down to the bottom of the spawner's level. Once I had the land flattened down, I had to fill in or lift up some dirt. That way all of it was flat for the first layer of the farm. So not wanting to make the mistake of filling in dirt for hours like I did last video, I placed a flat layer of dirt over it and called it good. Then I also put a 3-wide layer of stone around the edge of the farm that would act as an outer edge of the farm. However, while working a little late one night, Phantom showed up and quickly changed my priorities.
Hey, we're needing to go underground. Let's not talk right now. Let me get underground. No, Phantoms. We need a bed, and we need armor, and we need so many things. Oh my god. I was 1 phantom hit away from death. Holy, oh my.
After almost dying to phantoms, I decided to work on getting a bed and armor. Due to all the cobblestone I was mining from the iron mining level, I had enough room to make dark mob spawn areas and start getting string to make into wool, and enough iron to make full iron armor. So I smelted down the iron ore I had and made myself full iron armor, making mobs less of an issue to deal with. With the armor, I checked out the dark areas to find they were quite effective at spawning mobs, getting 7 string on the first trip and the last 5 I needed on the second trip, giving me just enough to make a bed. So back on the surface, I made a bed, finally fixing my phantom problem and helping me be more efficient on building the farm. Let's place my bed. We got a bed. Happy about the accomplishment of now having a bed, I kept the momentum going and placed a stone foundation on a floating edge around the farm because, again, I ain't feeling in all that. But with that, the base of the farm was now done. So now I was ready to spend the next couple hours continuing to collect stone and wood to use for the farm. And that's exactly what I did, using the resources to build up the walls and the floors of the farm, making sure to plant carrots every time I finished a new layer of the farm. I decided to not put any detailing into the farm until later on, but I did put doorways for entering and exiting the farm. And during the building of the farm, I reworked the spawner to drop mobs a little lower so I could still use the spawner while now using it as a ladderway between the farm's layers. For the top layer of the farm, I made it just a plain floor because I plan to eventually make it my living area. I set of leaving all my stuff in the open like I've done for the last 60 days now. For the roof of the farm, I made it a little weird looking because I wanted to keep the top of the spawner visible, but I guess it does have a roof at least. And if you guys like this idea and want it to be a series, which I would want it to be, I can definitely change it in the future. But before I can do any changes to the farm, I want to do more progression towards getting golden carrots, because golden carrots, no pun intended, are the gold standard for food sources, which is exactly what I want. To do that, I need to get to the nether, which means I need a lava pool for obsidian, and I need a diamond pickaxe. So down to the diamonds I uncovered earlier I went to collect just the amount I needed. I need 3 of these. Don't collect any more. That's a lie. I need to collect 5 in total. Because of... Oh my god, please subscribe. The reason I wanted 5 diamonds was 3 for a diamond pickaxe and 2 for an enchant table, even if I won't be able to make one for a while. With the diamonds, I mined down to bedrock, finding even more diamonds on the way down, eventually finding pools of lava, in the process surrounded by even more diamonds. So to the surface I went to grab my water bucket and make a pickaxe I would need before heading down to the lava pools and collecting all the obsidian I would need for a portal and future advancements. Not wanting to hear my portal constantly, I built it underground and headed into the nether. Seeing how small my nether was, I blocked off my nether portal, and it was a good thing I did, because
what am I feasting my eyes upon? There's so many, and the border is so tiny.
well, what do I do from here? The plan was to grind pigmen, but I'm getting piglins because of the biome. There's, I don't think, anything good to come from here.
The plan was to get gold,
But maybe it's a next time thing. I also don't see any magma cubes just in my general vicinity. The nether was filled with mobs and disappointing, because my nether is a crimson forest, which would give us only piglins and hoglins. Our original plan was to be able to make a makeshift pigment farm and get some magma blocks for building an actual pigment spawner on the roof of the nether for unlimited gold and golden carrots. But that clearly wasn't going to be the case once I saw our nether. So before I left it for a future video, I grabbed a bunch of ladders and made my way up to the roof of the nether. Hitting the bedrock, I had no way to break through at this time, and coming back down to leave the nether for good. Well, we went to the nether. That was cool. It was scary and also pointless because there's nothing here for me at all. I can't do anything here unless I want to grind piglins when there's a million of them that could easily kill me. And as you can hear, the hoglins, which how did I was thrown and then I went from death. What the fuck, dude? Dude, that's like the 3rd time or 4th in this series I've seen God.
and God wasn't ready for me.
So I left the nether and started working on something that would be very beneficial for me in the future. I got to work on making a dark room. That way I could start getting zombie villagers and witches to make villagers, which would help me an extraordinary amount at solving our resources problem. For the dark room, I decided to use a place I've been quarrying stone from over time, and the place I placed my portal at. A dark room, as it sounds, is a dark room used to spawn mobs on select spots for the purpose of specific mobs. The place I was going to use as a dark room was quite open and cleared out already from all the stone I cleared out, but I had other resources to also clear out still. So to clearing out resources I went, which took a couple hours to do, but in the end, the place was all nice and flat, with the exception of blocks needed to block off water sources outside the world border that would flow into my world. However, before I made the area into a dark room, I wanted to work on things I wanted to finish and for sure get done in this video, whereas the dark room was something I needed for next video, which I'm deciding to use to focus more heavily on generating resources, that way I'm less limited by them. So I got to work on stuff that I wanted to get done. First off, I picked up all my stuff off the ground and moved it up to the top floor of the farm, giving me a living quarters finally. Second off, I wanted to finish the farm. So to adding in details I went, putting trapdoors on the top and bottom of the outer walls, and putting stone brick walls and fences in the corner of every layer. Then on the top layer, I put lanterns hanging from the corners and added a trimmer on the edges of the roof. With the farm done finally, I wanted to get dripped out for a reason I don't exactly remember, but I did have a decent amount of diamonds uncovered already. So underground I went, mining the diamonds I found previously, and then strip mining for the remaining diamonds I needed, ending up with a total of 30 diamonds with some extra ore uncovered for later on when I eventually get fortune. With the diamonds, I got myself a full set of diamond armor and a diamond sword, and I gotta say,
Yeah, look at me. I'm dripped out, dude. That being said, though, I don't want to damage it. I am a coward. We're gonna wear the iron and bricks. You will see this probably in the thumbnail, but I'm not trying to damage it.
until my other armor breaks. So let's just put all this away. Yeah, I gotta keep it a buck with you. I got no use for them right now. I don't know why I wanted to make those in the first place, but I'll probably enchant them and use them in the next video, so it'll be fine. For this video and the world as a whole, I wanted to put you guys in it. So I used the YouTube feature to see who is subscribed with their subscriptions public, like I've done in previous videos for subscriber walls. This time, using the list of subscribers to put them on signs on my spawner, it's the dead center of my world. So if new people do subscribe from this video and want it to be a series, you guys will be at the very center of the series itself. Which, I mean, you already are, but I put all the names on the side of my spawner. I got back to work on finishing the dark room, so it'll be done for the next video when I actually need it. I changed the entire floor to slabs so no mobs would spawn in the dark room and made multiple evenly spaced out 2x1 spawning chambers. That way they would spawn mainly mobs I wanted instead of ones I don't need, like spiders and endermen. With the dark room done, I noticed it wasn't as efficient as I wanted it to be. So I went around clearing out dark areas, taking up mob spawns, which was so much scarier and harder than I wanted it to be, showing me once again why mobs are one of 3 main issues for a small world like this one. Just listen and see the amount of mobs I had in here taking up dark room spawns in this one area alone. Luckily, I only had 3 mob spawning areas to clear out, and the one I showed you was by far the worst. That being said though, despite me hyping up how scary and hard they'd be to clear out, I just cleared them out very slowly and carefully, which, except for 1 or 2 occasions, I was completely fine. With them cleared out, the dark room should be more efficient now. So everything I wanted done in this video is now done, except for the main thing I wanted to do in this video, which is building up a stockpile of food. The way food is no longer an issue I have to worry about, only leaving 2 challenges going forward in this series. So back to my farm I went to farm up carrots for the next 3 hours, using bones from the spawner for bone meal, speeding up the regrowing process, making it to where after 3 hours I had a little over 6 double chests full of carrots, which should be good. The main reason I wanted carrots though is not only for food, as mentioned in the voiceover, but also for emeralds to trade with villagers. That's right, next video in this series, I want to use a large amount of these carrots for getting emeralds, which help me get all kinds of things I can't get any other way than trading with villagers, which should massively help solve our resource problem. So if you want this to be a series and want to see me do that next video, please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and if you already have, consider clicking the video on screen to watch more of my content.